Welcome to the Elite Power Moves podcast, where we unlock the secrets to level up in all areas of life. I'll be interviewing some of the world's top performers in their fields so that you can uncover and learn the strategies that have led to their overall success and apply it to your own life. Martin, welcome to the Elite Power Moves podcast. We're looking forward to interviewing you today and going through the questions that everyone wants to hear. Martin, your background in sport and corporate travel suggests a strong emphasis on teamwork and collaboration. What are some key leadership lessons you've learnt from your experiences, and how do you apply them to build strong teams?
Yeah, great question. The biggest thing really is great teams win together, whether in sports or business, and you lose together. So one of the biggest leadership lessons I've learned is having clarity and trust in everything that you do, because without that, nothing else works. And people best perform when they have the vision and they understand what is asked of them, and they feel valued and heard. That's the biggest thing that I've learned. And so with that, I really try to focus on having clear communication and empowering my team to make sure everyone understands each one of their roles and see the overall big picture. Because when you create that kind of culture, success naturally follows.
100%. That's a great question and a great answer, because look, when we have clear communication, it saves us time, it saves us energy in the long run. And we have a team that is, working aligned with what our ideal mission is. Martin, given your involvement in brands like Revent Sports and Bumani Cold Buzz, how do you balance the demands of entrepreneurship with maintaining your own physical and mental health, especially in an industry that requires consistent innovation and energy?
Yeah, another great question. The way that I stay at top performance with Absolute Sport, Revent Sports, and all the ventures that I have is really balancing and setting time aside for myself. Really treating both my physical and mental health as an investment, rather as a burden. And what I mean by that is, before I start the day, every day, I'll wake up between 4:45, 5 a.m., go do my morning workout. I'll come back and go on the treadmill. And while I'm on the treadmill, just like slowly cooling down, but still getting a second workout in, that's when I'll slowly start, getting the brain power to work by, searching global trends and start replying to certain emails or requests. And then afterwards, I immediately jump into my daily affirmations. This is a non-negotiable for me. I have to do it every day. And then the two other things that are also non-negotiables is I have to have like my cold plunge and sauna. I have to do that 2 to 3 times a week to really, recover the body both mentally and physically. And then playing the game that I love, football.
No, that's amazing. That sounds like an amazing morning routine. And look, just delving into the science there, pretty much like when we get up, firstly, we're putting into the most important asset in our business and our career, ourselves. We're releasing serotonin, endorphins, and dopamine just before we're ready to learn, remember, and move the needle. And this is always going to be the pillar foundation for any man's calendar. And like obviously, hydrotherapy, cold plunges, and saunas is really good for the parasympathetic nervous system. It's going to help you be obviously more mental resilient. When you can jump into a cold bath during the day, I think anything that you tackle that day is going to be pretty easy. So that sounds like an amazing morning routine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the main reasons I've done it. I used to not be able to take a cold shower, but someone told me, start off your day doing something you don't want to do, and you'll accomplish the day. So I love starting off like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, Martin. Like, I pretty much have a similar routine. Like I think a lot of people get up, the first thing they do is just check their phone and make a coffee. And this is automatically leading to distraction, because you're going to be distracted by emails. You're going to start using your cognitive ability in the wrong ways. And then the obviously caffeine too early in the morning is going to really inhibit that spike of cortisol, which we're supposed to get. And I like to start my morning, firstly with really the first minute of the day when you're in that trance state. It's like where you can rewire neuroplasticity in your brain. And that's like, just being really present with what you want and then go into like gratitude and what you're happy for and then visualization, visualizing your success and what you want to achieve. And the first thing I do every morning is I have apple cider vinegar, lemon, and pink
Okay.
salt because this is firstly it tastes like absolute shit, and as you said, doing hard things is always
Yep.
going to set you up for a good day. But just little habits like this can improve toxicity in your body. It hydrates your cells. It can improve digestive enzymes in your gut health and also your pancreas. And it's just one of those things that becomes a habit. And I think most high achievers that I interview, like you, have those really solid morning habits.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the two biggest things is overcoming adversity first thing in the morning, that cold plunge, that drink that you do, and then the visualization is huge for me as well, which is why it's a non-negotiable for me doing the affirmations. Visualizing what I'm looking to achieve is super helpful.
Yeah, and I think just that for someone, it's one of the hardest things that someone can do, really, because it's your brain muscle. It's the most important muscle. It's like, some people don't realize where their mind takes them, and to be able to be present and meditate and like really be present with your thoughts, creates your reality. As they say, your mind is your most powerful tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Martin, working with elite brands like Red Bull, Puma, and that Miami Heat requires the next level approach to decision making. What leadership principles have helped you navigate high stake projects and build lasting relationships with top tier clients?
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, the two biggest things always clear communication and trust. Without it, you can't proceed. And then really my decision making philosophy is quite simple. It's really just three things. Focus on the impact, move with urgency, and then never overpromise. I rather tell you that I'm not going to be able to make it and then finish, 2 days earlier then tell you, oh yeah, well, we can get it done in 12 hours and then be a week later. And the reason I've been able to be so successful with working with these brands is being able to deliver consistently what I promise. I try to stay true to my word, and that's what I try to live by.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, Martin. And I'm a big fan the same. And so many high achievers always say it's what you sort of say no to that creates more space for the things that you want to say yes to. And I'm the same with as you, we've talked about the mind, body, and spirit. And I'm a more of like a middle way. It's a Buddhist philosophy on you don't want to over deliver and have these huge expectations, but you also don't want to under deliver. This is going to keep you in an energy state where you're not going to be disappointed if you don't hit that goal, or you're not going to disappoint your clients or people that are relying on you. And also on the other spectrum, you're not going to, be disheartened if you're not hitting your targets and what you want to achieve. So, sounds like you're right on top of that.
Yeah. And you touched on a very important part there too. Something I learned early in my career is being okay with saying no. Before, I always was the person that said yes, yes, yes to everything. And then sometimes you don't have enough time in the day, or you get overwhelmed, or something happens where you can't make it. And so really picking and choosing those projects to work on and being okay with yourself by saying no. Before, I would think if I say no, I'm letting someone down. Well, no, that's not the case. I could let someone down by saying yes. So that's super important as well.
Yeah, look, all the top guys that I follow always say it's like sometimes your calendar is pretty much someone else's agenda for you, and it can take you down different tangents, and you really have to align your calendar with your energy and your goals and what you want to achieve. So, Martin, stress in and high pressure environments that are given in your industry, from managing corporate incentives to executing major events. What strategies do you use to stay mentally sharp, reduce stress, and maintain resilience in the face of challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I'm huge on pressure. I thrive on pressure. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think pressure is a privilege for many reasons, but really the key to handling pressure and timelines is having well preparation. If you're fully prepared and have everything mapped out ahead of time, no matter what the obstacle is, you should be able to overcome it. And the biggest thing I try to teach my team and my clients is trying to remain calm during situations when things don't go your way. Specifically in my line of work, in events, sports, and entertainment, there's always going to be something that goes wrong. It's never going to turn out 100% perfect, which is why I've kind of labeled myself as a problem solver. It's because I always try to turn a negative into a positive. I'm a firm believer in if whatever you put out is what you're going to receive. So if you're always negative or getting upset that something went wrong, you're only going to attract more and more of it. So that's why I always tell people remain calm. Everything's going to work out, and you'll figure it out. So adaptability is super important in regards to that, because you have to be able to adapt to whatever life throws at you.
100%. And I do believe that really stress is enhancing and it's a key quality for a high achiever, for someone like yourself. And really, at the end of the day, if you see a drama or, something come up within a business, it's always the person that's the most calmest in the room that can sort it out. And mate, I really want to link into what you talked about, like about being around negative energy because it really does soak into you. It's like having a rotten apple in a box of apples that are fresh. I mean, eventually it's going to sink into everything. And it's so important for us to lead with that, presence and availability for our staff and just to show them that, we can handle this pressure and it's okay. And we're going to support you through it as well. So I think that's one of the traits of one of the high achievers.
Yeah, that's so important. Remaining calm and showing the support because you can quickly spiral.
Yeah. Martin, you're not in just the business of travel. You're in the business of creating unforgettable moments that drive engagement and brand loyalty. What's one of the most powerful experiences you've designed and how did it impact the business goals and the company involved?
Oh, that's a great question. There's been so many incredible experiences that we've put together, but I would say one of the most recent ones that stood out to me is probably our Puma incentive travel activation that we did for Copa America with Absolute Sport. We were the official fan travel partner of the tournament, and it really was about bringing the people to the tournament, but not have it just be about the tournament. Like you mentioned, we're all about creating these one of a kind, unique experiences that money can't buy. And well, that's exactly what we did. We tried giving them something that was unique. And what I mean by that is we created a Legends game where we brought ex-professional football players to play with the top executives that were there. We organized a sunset yacht cruise for them and really immerse themselves in the culture of the city that the tournament was in. So you had the blend of the city, the culture of the people, the teams, the tournament, and the experience itself that really made it unique.
That's amazing. And obviously, like I want to link that back to what you mentioned earlier in the podcast about being planned and this involves like being planned in your own life, like how you mentioned getting up early. And obviously you've probably got your gym bag packed and you've got your shake and you've got your shoes and you've got everything ready to go. How important is it for you as a high achiever to be prepped and planned for not only your personal life, but for big events that you mentioned?
Oh, 100%. Like I said, it's crucial. Having the clarity and the vision, and not just for yourself, for your whole team and for the organization. Without having preparation or clarity, you're not going to be able to handle the obstacles or adversities that I had mentioned, because you have to be able to remain calm. You're not going to be able to remain calm if you don't know the plan or if you've properly prepared. So it's essential.
Yeah, it's my experience that I see so many, especially young executives, they jumping into boardrooms with huge presentations, and they're sort of overthinking it, and they're staying up the night before, and they're trying to like work out what they need to do, and they're rocking into the session tired and not over delivering the way they wanted to. And like you said before, I think it really links to like just understanding the pressure is going to be there, and just knowing that you know, even with this podcast, nothing's going to be 100%. Like we're going to make mistakes and we're going to do things along the way, but it's about being okay with that. So I think that's just definitely a trait of high achievers. Martin, I wanted to go into our final question, which is rapid fire questions. So I'm going to shoot some questions at you, and just get your on the spot answer. Um, Martin, what would be your best piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Um, I guess I kind of said it already on the podcast. Being okay with saying no. That
Definitely.
would be my advice. Not tackling on too many projects because you want it to help everyone. Just it's okay to say no.
Martin, what's your best book or resource that you would recommend for inspiring leaders?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say probably The Power of Habit.
Power of Habit, amazing book.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
definitely
one
have
was
to
really
read that one.
yeah.
Martin, what is your drink of choice?
Ooh, it depends on the time of year. It changes a little bit, but I would say more often than not, right now, I'm feeling more the like a gin tonic.
Sounds good. I'm a gin and tonic man as well. Um,
Yeah.
and Martin, what is one thing that you would want to pass on to future generation in the future?
I would say curiosity. Sometimes I find younger generation isn't as curious or doesn't ask as many questions. I think in order to be successful in life, you constantly have to change and adapt, and the only way to do that is by asking questions.
That's amazing answer too. And Martin, the last question is, what is the best investment you've made in your career and company to date?
I would say investing in myself kind of goes back to the beginning, investing first in myself before taking on any task or project has really been a game changer, both mentally, physically, career-wise. It just gives a sense of clarity and allows me to accomplish everything that I want.
That's probably the best answer you can really give. And to be honest, if we don't invest in ourselves, then we can't invest in anyone else. And I always use the philosophy if it's not selfish to put into yourself, because when you put into yourself, you can give to others. And
Exactly.
obviously, my philosophy really is discipline increases self-worth. When we multiply that by healthy habits that we introduce into our life every day, like you do, that then increases our energy. And when we have increased energy, that then increases our most valuable resource, which is our time.
Yeah, well said.
Martin, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on this short and sharp Elite Power Moves podcast for high achievers. And I'm looking forward to staying connected. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Michael. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to connecting with you and staying in touch.
Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you found the discussion useful. Our goal is to positively impact the well-being of 1 million people's lives just like you by sharing the experience and knowledge of some of the world's top performers. So you don't miss out on any key strategies to help you succeed, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And if you think you may know someone that would benefit from this episode, join us in our mission of impacting 1 million lives and share it with your friends.